Hello everyone and welcome to the 2020 Asia Open presented by Innova Champion Discs. We're here for the back nine of round number 3 at the Kaohsiung Metro Park, located in Kaohsiung City, on the south side of Taiwan. Terry Miller, the disc golf guy. Beautiful setting, beautiful place to be. I'm ready to bring you the action. And we're here on hole 10. We're heading to the back nine. This is what I would consider a must-get birdie. You've got plenty of options. You can go right or left. We see Nate Perkins very efficient with his forehand. And Jacky going high, wide, right-handed backhand hyzer. Could practically be putting from his mini in this exact same hole yesterday. Same spot. 292, this is even thinking ace run. Play slightly uphill, and it's not too fast around the green, so it'd be great to see some aggressive shots here. I think James has one of his signature putters. Just a bit short. And really no surprise, Manabu also going with the righty hyzer. I think that must say something to Nate's comfort level for throwing that forehand route when you see the other four righties all go backhand. And Philo's off his mark. Now, it's about an hour and a half into the round, so we're probably looking at around 10 a.m. local time. Warming up just a little bit. We see Philo has shed the sweatshirt he started the morning with. And James for the easy birdie to push him to 24 under par. Jacky is 2 behind Philo, but cuts that in half to just 1 behind him now. Manabu really the only one not quite keeping on pace. We'll see if he can pick it up here in the back nine. Manabu, I believe, is the 3-time champion of this event. I've said it enough times that I'm just going to go ahead and claim that that's right. I know he did win it in 2017, the last time it was played. I think I remember saying someone saying he won it the last 3 years. We'll credit him for that. I'd believe that all day. Perkins right there in the thick of things as he's at 26 under after the birdie. We're going to move over to the shortest hole on the course. Philo has a little one-on-one time with the basket, as I thank Innova Champion Discs for their sponsorship and support not of just the event but also of the coverage. Just 230 feet. Nate's going to go with the sidearm again. And that seemed to fight through. Jacky put himself in great position with the overhand. And I think that one's going to be just a bit long for him. Last round, I should say, he was in putting position. And James again needing such a long run up, getting a little bit frustrated. It might be the shortest hole, but unfortunately it's probably the toughest tee pad to use. Manabu also going with the big anhyzer, just like we saw from him yesterday. We'll see if that stays clean or not for Philo. And though there's not too many trees on this course, James is finding them all here on this 230-footer. See the wind blowing away or downwind here from Perkins. Remember, we are taking the top 20 MPO players, as Philo doesn't convert, but we're going to take the top 20 players, and they will move into the next round, which will be 9 holes. James is putting for his par. After those 9 holes are played, they'll count the scorecards and then whittle it down to just the top 4 MPO players. And James Conrad not loving hole number 11. Looks like he's going to be set up with a double bogey here. We saw yesterday that this also had a less than favorable spit out on it. So hole 11 not playing quite as easy as it should be for these guys. Jacky, on the other hand, says, well, this isn't so bad. I like the overhand. And just like that, he's going to be in a tie for the lead at the 28 under. So Philo's going to be lining up for par. Perkins will tap in for his par, and James hopes to never see this one again. After carding the double bogey, he's going to move from 24 down to 22 under par. This is a PDGA B tier event. Last weekend I was in Thailand for the PDGA A tier, the Samui Swine Classic, also presented by Innova. I'd like to thank Brian Guru Henniger, our international director, along with everyone at the PDGA staff and beyond, helping support the coverage and, of course, the overall growth of disc golf worldwide. And it looks like Nate didn't love his footing there, and that one slips out to the left side. If you remember from yesterday, the left side, there's just nothing over there. All you can really do is hope to throw up and over, but it's going to probably be a blind shot. And that's a good angle if it hooks up. It does. He gets the yellowish green flag. Philo's asking for that to get back, and I think he needs to kiss that disc because it was working perfectly for him. We watch Conrad go deep and not bring it back in bounds. We'll see if he makes an adjustment, and he's going to be inbounds with a long putt, probably about 35, maybe 40 feet. And that didn't come down. It got caught on the front side of one of those final trees. There is no 2-meter rule in effect here. Jacky Chen's not worried about anything of the nature of that sort at all. He's going to take the outright lead. Solid putt by Jacky. Oh, and there's some sweet revenge. After the OB taking the 4 on at the round before yesterday afternoon. Oh, it's like he hit it up there.
Where are you at? Okay.
And Nate, I think, knew it right out of his hand. That was a little bit low and left. Unfortunately, he's going to walk away with a bogey. And there's more of the Manabu putting struggles that just not used to seeing. I know I've been kind of sounding like a broken record, but for anyone that's seen him play golf, you will know just how uncharacteristic it is to see him make so many mistakes. which is entirely meant as a compliment. I am, of course, not ragging on him. And thankfully for him, that's still going to be a par as he walks away from hole 12, 2/3 of the way through the round. Thank you to all my Patreon subscribers and supporters. This year I'm going to be ramping up the Patreon giveaways. I'm going to have a giveaway for every video that I do throughout the year, but also I'll have exclusive and specific Patreon-only giveaways. Check out the link in the description if you want to know more about that. But I appreciate all the additional support. Jacky's forehand is just a bit short. And it's almost as if he didn't fully commit to that turnover. The wind is already blowing left to right. And if you're going to make a mistake, the mistake to make is to be out on that left side. So no real harm, no foul there, because if you pull it too far to the right, like we're seeing there, that could find OB. Now, Conrad put himself in a great position, but there is OB to the right. So if you do make a mistake, you want to hang it out left. So if you turn it over too much like that, you unfortunately are getting the red OB flag. And if you haven't attended a clinic by someone like Philo or Nate here, next time you get the opportunity, make sure you do so. As you can see, I think everyone would love a 350-foot forehand shot. Feels like Philo's been really kind of second-guessing himself on these last few holes, and that is metal off the cage. And unsure if that's just a poor read or not committed, but he had a tailwind. Needed to get up not just a little higher, but a lot higher in his case. And James Conrad showing us how to do it. Your 2019 United States Disc Golf Champion. And one of the fan favorites for sure as we arrived. Everybody, when we were out here on Friday, as they were just getting the course set up, a lot of people out here running up, getting autographs and photos and everything else. A few people professing their love for James Conrad, so huge fan favorite here. So the penalty bogey from Manabu, the birdie from Perkins, and kind of just limping along here for this one at least. You got Philo and Jacky. Both of them tied for the lead at 29. Yeah, who doesn't love a little throw-in action with a lion? We've got Innova's own James Conrad with the honors. James sitting 5 back of the lead at the moment. He was the leader after round number 1. Came out with, I believe, an 11 under to open the tournament. This is a par 59 course, 5 par 4s. And if you're looking for a clinic on forehands, clearly we have Perkins giving one here. Jacky follows suit. We'll see who did it better. Philo hangs that out way wide. He says, we got a long ways to go. I think he kind of pulled that one off his line. Manabu, a completely different approach, going right up the gut. Taking the most direct route from A to B. Jacky was up first. Means Nate's forehand must have been a little bit more effective. Manabu and Philo about the same distance from the pin, maybe 45 feet. Have some wind to deal with. You can see the flag on top of the basket. And another metal hit by Philo. James with another birdie. That's going to bring him to 25 under. And we've yet to see Perkins address his lie. Uh-oh. And this is something really at the professional level. You may have a little mind fart, brain fart, whatever you want to call it, a lapse just for a moment. Reset yourself, walk over, don't turn the 4 into a 5 or the 6 into the 8, whatever it is. Just reset yourself and still just step up and make that putt. And apparently no putting really required here for Nate Perkins. Absolute park job. Has Perkins right there in the thick of it. He's at 27 under par. We've just got a few holes to play. We've seen Conrad in the driver's seat for the last few holes. He's saying that it's short. And you can see the wind just push that over from left to right, kind of making it stall out over there. And the flag on the top of the basket would tell you just why. Philo asking for that to get back and over, and he doesn't realize it at the moment, but he is out of bounds. He's unsure, and he's obviously a little bit frustrated, but he did not know for a fact that he was out of bounds. He won't know that to a few more moments when he walks up. I'm not sure if that's better or worse for your headspace, is knowing while you have that 300-foot walk and then realizing it, or if you know it right off the tee as you're walking up to that next putt. And just as Conrad had suspected, he was short. Jacky just a bit closer. Now, a lot of you have been impressed with his Circle 2 putting. Last 2 attempts have not been spot on. And here's Philo. Now he's trying to save the par. Oh, yeah. So, although maybe a little bit frustrated with the last few putts he's had, he's at least able to still walk away without the blemish on his scorecard here. Manabu for birdie. Breathes a little bit of life into the card. Great putt. Said in the previous round that if you're talking about a direct, right at the pole spin putt, I don't think you get any more direct than what we see from Nate Perkins. Just a really solid putting stroke. See the par by Jacky. We're going to move over to hole number 16, what many of you claimed as the signature hole. I'm not going to argue with you. I certainly wish it was the finishing hole. Unfortunately, it's just not in a position to be back by the headquarters to make it the final hole. But I would have to say it is the most beautiful hole, in my opinion, out here on this course. The only downside being you can't exactly see the landing zone. We'll see if there's any flag indicators. And, well, either I missed the flag or no flag is a good sign. He is going to be inbounds. And we saw Conrad get hung up in the second set of woods the day before. And he was out of bounds, ended up walking away here with a 5. But today he's inbounds and on the dance floor. And that's just raw power. Looks like it's going to be hanging out a little bit right. He gets the green flag, but he's going to find himself in some trouble, I think, on that right-hand side. He'll be in bounds, but not exactly where you want to be. And this hole that sets up as a par 4 at 545, I feel like is an absolute must-get birdie. Eagle opportunities are there. We saw one yesterday, but this is at least a must-get birdie. And that's a great approach shot. Now, he is on the far right side. He's almost pin high. And not a lot to work with. With this being a temporary course, you can see all of that area has been mowed just in the last few weeks. And he wasn't able to roll very far on that. But Conrad, trying to make up for the mistake yesterday. Wow is right. Conrad, who took the 4 on it yesterday, cleans it up. Actually, he takes a 5 on it yesterday. Today cleans it up and takes the 2. This is Jacky for his birdie. And again, the 3rd straight putt that we've seen from him that's been low. 3 out of the last 4. And if Philo were counting dots, he would be winning. Unfortunately, that's not a game you necessarily want to be winning. But just off the front of the basket, he's going to have to settle for the birdie. I know it sounds weird to say. Manabu, on the other hand, right there, takes the eagle. Jacky likes it. Jacky has played in one other PDGA event in his life. It was in 2018. He got the best of Manabu in the first round by 2 strokes. Second round, he tied Manabu. And in the 3rd round, he ended up giving him all away, and I think he lost by 5 or 7 when it was all said and done, which is still an incredible accomplishment, finishing 2nd to him. And that was his only other PDGA event way back in 2018, and he wasn't even a PDGA member at the time. That's why it's not listed on his history. He said he signed up for the PDGA just in the last few weeks. It was either December or January is when he signed up for the PDGA. That's why he had no rating and such a high PDGA number. And here he is hanging with the best of them. He's 1 off of Philo, tied with Perkins. I know I mentioned it yesterday, and it's really unfortunate, really just for me and for you guys a little bit. Holes 17 and 18 are really difficult to get good angles on, and unless, unfortunately, you hit a tree early like Philo has. I saw where that one came down. So speaking of Jacky's recent involvement with the PDGA, becoming a member, and then busting out this ridiculous first ever rating, what I'd like to know in the comments, this will make you eligible to win a disc, an Innova disc with the Disc Golf Guy logo on it. I'd like to know in the comments what your PDGA number is. And if you don't have one, tell me that. But that's what I'd like for you to leave in the comments on this one. Hit the like, make sure you're subscribed, and then tell me what your PDGA number is. There's Philo off his mark again. Feels like Philo is just a few putts away from really running away with this, but meanwhile, he's just got a single stroke over a couple of his card mates. Perkins is going to get in on that action, and a share of the lead. After going deep, Jacky not able to pick up the birdie. Everyone maybe suffering from a little fatigue. We're 53 holes into the tournament. Assuming these guys all finish strong, we're going to see them go into the semis, and then 4 players advance to the finals. So you're talking about 72 holes of golf over 2 days. And what's incredible about that is these competitors, at least from the U.S., will not play that much golf in a 2-day span at any other point in the 2020 season. Dare I say, this is a little bit of old school regular tournament golf weekends where maybe 72 holes was very common. That is not commonplace for most events, at least in the elite touring pro level. I'm not calling them soft. They're all playing a lot of golf. And Philo doesn't really like it, but he's going to be in bounds. And also turns over. Now we saw the same shot from Jacky yesterday. When you're way over to the right, you do have probably an opening all the way to the basket. You might be further away from it. Should I say farther away from it? But you at least have an opening to the basket. A little sigh of frustration. And this is exactly what I mean. It's tough to try and find exactly where the best position is to be. Everyone is scattered in this landing zone. I believe that was Manabu. And again, finding the opening with almost the exact same shot that he had from the previous day. Oh, I stand corrected. Might have been James who threw his approach a moment ago. And Manabu's second shot puts him right there. So this is Perkins for his birdie putt on the par 4. This is also a birdie putt for Philo. Philo's got the lead or a share of it, and looks like he's going to have the outright lead after 54 holes. Philo, again, coming off the win from the Samui Swine the weekend before. Also a second place finish the weekend before that. So he's off to a pretty good start here. Early season 2020. Conrad right there in the thick of things. He's at 28 under par. He's going to be 3 off the leader. This is Jacky for birdie. And a share of second place going into the semifinals. Of course, he's going to stroll up there slowly. Manabu birdies and Perkins with the par. We've got a great group. These guys are all moving into the semifinals. 9 holes with a few adjustments. Stay tuned for that. Thank you guys for joining us. Thank you to the Asia Open as well as the PDGA and Innova Champion Discs. We'll see you guys in the semifinals. Like I said, the semifinals are coming right up. If somehow you're here out of order, you could backtrack, go check out round 2 or earlier parts of round 3, or we can move forward into the semis. Here's the playlist.